Hylos Valier.
Gatot nggak ada, masih ada Hylos, bos.
Very well.
Crazy. Yeah. Tough pokes might be somewhat tough for the Valentina and the Kalea. Well, it depends a lot on Haji and how he handles the exchange against the Valier.
Now, we're left with the options dito para i-flap. There is the Benedetta, Esmeralda, least of my friends. But it is good versus the Paquito, tas may shields din yung Harit. So siguro yun. However, I don't like the odds for Esmeralda up against the Valier and traditional itong Hylos. So, alam ko hindi mo pa itatanong sa akin dito, pero mukhang pipiliin ko na yung ONIC Philippines, Renmar. I really like the idea of this Hylos plus the Valier as their last pick.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning
Thank you,
towards the Philippines for this one as well. But I want to see how this Esmeralda with a sprint is gonna do. It's a toss coin. A coin toss for me up in the air.
For sure. So ang benefit ng isang Valier is of course HP-based damage pang gulo dun sa Kalea.
Check kung kakalihatan lagi mas.
Supplementary damage mula sa malayo
Kraus
para tulungan ng isang Paquito.
Alright, casters, you ready? Let's go!
Harus nunggu item dulu, terlalu
Here we
manjal.
go, game 2 upon us in this best of 7 lower bracket finals. It was a devastating game for Team Falcons, and
harus nunggu item cukup di goal
they
aja.
didn't change too much going to the game too. Maybe this will work out better for them, but I don't know. The Esmeralda, I have to feel the same way, man. I don't know how this is going to work out for them, and this is interesting too. The Valier comes through for Super Prince.
Yeah. Okay, that's the sigh.
The sigh of
so
what Midnight's thinking.
Yeah, so this is Grandma Gears, right? So Wolf and Renmar went with ONIC, and they sort of like, you know, said, okay, maybe
Wah, ini dibakar-bakar, Cok, depan turret, Cok.
I'm gonna be the opposite, okay? I'm a mauled on stream.
Okay, you can maul,
Kena
man.
semua lagi.
I don't like this come from Team Falcons.
Siap, Zasarido.
They pulled out the Kalea and Valentina again. And then now they put Esme as the answer against Paquito and Harit, which is nice. But you're up against a Valier and a Hylos. These two can peel like crazy.
Yep.
Whoa, Ogre, not again.
Not again. This is very similar to what happened in game number 1. But at least it doesn't convert into a casualty.
Yes, because if that was the first blood, then I would be a little worried for the same early game situation in the last one. This is better though. I'm wondering though, because picking your gears here, Midnight, since they're grinding.
Okay. Let me oil up.
Is there
What?
Not too much. Is there a way that this could work though for Team Falcons, even though it hasn't changed too much?
There is, but this Suyo has to overperform to the point where he
Poquito
can
Esme, harusnya menang Esme ya dari zaman dulu, cuma nggak tahu nih Poquito yang sekarang, guys. Kita lihat ya.
This Valier and Hylos becomes a non-problem. But my biggest worry is that even in fights, like let's say you have a lot of items for Team Falcons, the heroes on the side of ONIC have a lot of utilities. They don't even have to deal damage. They just have to control heroes and then let the Leomord and then Harit take over the team fights.
Yeah, and I think something we saw previously too.
Aban mabar, Senin.
Choose to not be as active when it comes to the team fights first, and just constantly keep the pressure along the sides. And that'll maybe make Team Falcons a bit more hesitant to just go for whatever they want. But Bruce goes already pretty low, but that's going to be a bait after all. Forcing out the flicker from Ogwen. Now ONIC have found themselves in position for the objective alongside a first blood.
Masih maju Jir si Ogwen, guys.
I'm surprised he was able to go ahead and get that. Haji looking for his own though.
Okay, Flap will find Brusco. Could they punish Flap? They might not have enough answers just yet. Falcons win turtle number 1.
It's kind of expected.
Wait!
Falcons good in course.
Satu hit lagi,
Took out Super Friends, but at least Team Falcons, they do take first turtle. They do have Cryo, however. That's sort of expected from their lineup, but ONIC, they've managed to somehow find the trade. Forced the flicker on Ogren, took a kill for King Kong, and then also forced the sprint on Flap. ONIC is in a very good positioning, considering that they just have to wait for mid-game, wait for the Leomord and the Harit timing, power spike in the mid-game.
Yeah, this is I don't want to say a much better start, but a better start for Team Falcons anyway. At least, you know, you get yourself in a situation where you got the first turtle on your hands, you got the first blood over to Flap, and the Esmeralda could be a way to make this work better against like what we're talking about. All the
blur banget mas, ini dari merekanya guys, bukan dari guanya. Blurnya dari mereka, karena overlay apa ininya terlalu tinggi observernya. Jadi saja emang udah aja apa cuma nggak tahu bang nantinya.
take them and utilize them in these team fights.
Yeah.
Ada
And
D-nya.
it's just very fitting for Haji to use that, if not him being the guy to really introduce this kind of approach to using the Valentina whenever it's up against the Leomord.
Yeah.
So at least they're really keeping things in place for now. But let's see.
Oh, mid lane. Are they going to go for this? Okay.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh,
Ouch.
gila.
Okay.
Yeah, good little,
Yeah,
good little
this is-
stop there.
This is my concern with the draft of Team FALCON, right? Like, yeah, sure, for the first 3 neutral objectives of the game, first turtle, maybe you find good angles to force fights. But when it comes down to actual map play, where teams are sort of like looking for team fight setups, right? How do you fight into ONIC? They don't have enough of decent frontlining, especially
Coba dapat tadi Suyo ya?
because they don't have tank in the
Turtle
front
2
line.
kita lihat, Esme gerak duluan
They need
guys.
that tank in the front line,
Lumayan
man.
kewalahan
It's
ini
just an
harusnya.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And then the
Untuk
Esme gets countered by the Valir and the Hylos.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what angles they play around with this time. Brusco gets poked down to half HP. And that's all the time they needed just to secure the objective. Now he gets brought back in with the Tsunami Slam. ONIC still want to go for the fight. Third fight is going in as well.
Wah.
With the blazing do it coming in.
Susah ini ONIC nih.
No! Might just be enough. They sort of caught up whatever ONIC wanted to do. And Flap finds more. Haji picks up the kill on Brusco. And even under the turret, Falcons are going to go in. It's going to be
Thank you sejutanya, lu megang siapa mas?
for ONIC.
Megang ONIC PH lah.
I think they felt
Ada Savero guys.
how game 1 felt for Team Falcons, and they come in
Anjing,
making it
SB-nya
work.
3-0,
I don't
bro.
know, Midnight. That looked like kind of a tank in the front line to me.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. Team Falcons, the answer is not tank in the front line, but 5 people in the front line.
Esme-nya PR banget bro.
Five dudes.
We don't play front to back, bro. We play back to back.
Back to back. And they got a dancer in the front leading them, man, basically.
Yeah.
Like this is not what you expect this early on, where it's a team wipeout
Ganyang-ganyang
for
powernya.
ONIC.
Yeah, they thought they could play it slow with the Zaman Force. They had it just focusing on the Esmeralda, but then they were surprised they were caught off guard because Supermarket just flickered in with a Blazing Duet.
Yeah, I'm sort of starting to see a bit of a similarity in terms of what problems Falcons had with the Alice earlier on, but now with the Esmeralda, especially now that we've arrived at this point where they're 3K up and Flux 3-0-2. So they're in a very identical spot as to what they've been through in game number 1.
Oh. Okay, this is the other thing though too. Flap is just so tanky, but
Yeah, look at that.
even at some point, the itemization that ONIC can get here on this type of composition, is it going to be enough to deal with
Ini
Flap
replay apa tanding
feeling
beneran?
unkillable
Tanding
right
beneran
now?
dong.
Well, it does come down to that point. Whoa.
Whoa.
Anjir, langsung setengah darah.
Two people get stunned with
Udah
the
buku ya?
Fallen Star Moon, but Kai will not commit the fight.
Yeah, so the question
Udah
earlier
buku
was, will they have enough like itemization to
sakit
deal
tuh.
with the Esmeralda? I think it does come down to that point where late game is still a problem for
Emblem
Team
apa,
Falcons,
guys? Ini
even
Esme,
though
guys,
you have a
support, kan?
squad that can just
Kalau
scale
bikin
up. Team fighting
buku sih
is
support ya,
a
emblemnya.
bit of a stretch for them because again they have to like sort of deal with this utilities coming out from ONIC. But with this amount of lead, I think Team Falcons is at a very good
Tandem buat apa? Buat
position
early
to
ini, buat lawan
take over the
Pokemon.
game because again
Bagus itu
their
efeknya
squad
itu.
is just scaling. Imagine the late game came way too sooner than ONIC expected.
Yeah, they built up Golden Staff locked in now too for Supermarket. You see how much gold
Game berapa ini?
has
Game
been
2.
able to go
Best
ahead
of
and go in
7
the hands
guys.
of Team Falcons here, just on the nature of that last team fight and what it's pretty much built for them and momentum in the game too. So that's the thing. If they don't want to lose this and then give a chance to ONIC to kind of scale up in the late game, they've got to go ahead and cap it out while they have this lead.
Yeah. And I think Ogun can afford to just really be more proactive right now with the use of the Kalea, since they pretty much have much better map control now. They even got a turret just now, potentially even 2 more, because ONIC are just trading out this tier 1 down bottom. So this will help them a lot, really push the limits of what their lineup is capable of doing.
Yeah, because the thing is they... Oh, wait.
Oh, going for Flap.
Oh, if this
Oh,
is
shutdown
gonna
kah?
be a
Shutdown
shutdown,
kah? Beuh, mahal.
King Kong of all people
Mahal.
gets that kill.
Savero yang farming soalnya di bawah guys.
They took the top tower. Team Falcons, again, they're playing the map. This is the point of the game where if you're Team Falcons,
Tenang, tenang. Savero waktu di Indo main Harit mengerikan guys.
look to take trades. Because again, the idea
Walaupun
for their
0-1
lineup is just to
tenang aja,
let
guys.
Super Marco scale up to the point
Harit
where
dia jago,
even
guys.
ONIC forces a team fight, even if they do have the kits to deal with the Esmeralda, this Claude is just too damn big to deal with.
Yeah, the Claw's going to be an issue, but I would say in ONIC situation, if they're able to go ahead and get some of these pickoffs like that, kind of solo someone out, then that is the small steps for them. Ogren probably concealed. Kirk's going to spawn it out though, so Kirk is fine. Kirk can also play the long game. You know, he can go ahead and continue to put pressure on sides of the map. They are doing that. Like, they're putting pressure where they can. Eventually, though, I feel like Team Falcons will just put them in this situation where it's like, kind of, you have to fight us, you know? And ONIC at this point is just waiting for that time to build up here. This Lord first being up. I don't know if this is one that they want to throw themselves out, because if they do have a devastating team fight again and get potentially wiped out, they could just be clearly a game for Team Falcons.
Yeah, I think if you're ONIC, you just have to just wait for the scale, wait for the utilities to be online on your side. I mean, they do have the utilities, but the problem is they don't have damage.
Yeah, you can't go for that one.
Yeah.
Better to let the First Lord go. Good push up top, though, from Kirk. This is what we were expecting him to do, but mid lane.
Falcons actually want to fight still after that objective. Flap doesn't land. The Falling Star went on to anyone with
Ay, nga mati, Cho!
To get that tier 1 in mid,
Kirk.
that's probably all they wanted. Kirk, though, he gets found out. Kyle and
Di
Haji
dodge sama si
force
Kirk
out
aja
the
pakai
flicker.
ulti, guys.
Dude, did you see that knockout strike?
Yeah.
To dodge the blade.
Di dodge,
from
bro.
Kyle. Who does that?
Yeah.
Like, you would think Paquito would just use second skill, but the problem
Gila,
was he didn't have
permainan
the
one
second
step
skill at
ahead
that
gitu
moment, so
aja.
he had to improvise just to escape the clutches of the Suyo. But then, again, ONIC, you saw the amount of utility they had earlier. They're able to deal with the composition of Team Falcons, but now they have to defend Lord. This is a crucial Lord to defend. If ONIC can buy time, then maybe they get a better chance of fighting the next team fight against Team Falcons.
Yeah, you know, I see this 5,000 gold lead, which is the majority of that is in the jungle right now for Team Falcons. So ONIC across the board here isn't too far behind when it comes to lane, and that's why that threat, that potential threat of ONIC turning things around is still there. That's why I'm saying Team Falcons doesn't want to let this go on too long. They will take out the tier 2 turrets. They still have this First Lord jumping into the base here. They want to defend.
Okay, Glorious Pathway already laid down. The Lord gets taken care of by ONIC. Falcons are not forcing a fight just yet.
This searing torrent from Super Friends is annoying for Team Falcons. Like, how do you actually go in? Somebody has to suicide, and even with the stolen Glorious Pathway for Haji, it still feels a bit awkward. So I feel like the biggest spike for Team Falcons for them to actually take a team fight convincingly is the winner crown from Super Marco.
We'll keep an eye on Ogren. 20 seconds for the flicker here. They're going to go ahead and assault the base anyway.
Oh, a slightly off angle. OG, Glorious Pathway.
Yeah, it's just keeping them on their toes, you know? Nonetheless, it's still, it's the lead for Team Falcons. They get some of the shields down to work with. They're clearly stronger in the team fight. Yeah. You're looking at the itemization here too. Severo, I'd say he's ready to fight. I mean, on the Harith, this is probably the best that he can do.
Look, Super Michael, he knows this as well.
Itu kayak detak jantung itu heart rate itu, Mas.
Going for the Maleficon. They know that
Melihat heart rate-nya tegang atau enggak.
In the next like 3 minutes of this game.
Biasanya short call itu pasti tinggi guys, di atas 120 ya short call tuh.
Because again, even if they don't have the infinite scaling composition, even if they don't have the same amount of damage that Team Falcons has, what they do have is insane amount of utility.
Yeah, that's the thing working against them. There's the winner crown. Because again, trying to get into the base here, even when if we, let's just say, we wait for this next Lord to potentially knock down some of the base turrets from ONIC, Super Friends is going to be a problem, and that's what's been.
Yeah, ini yang kalah balik ini udah lower bracket final
soalnya. And engage on ONIC. The Searing Torrent, like Midnight mentioned, is such a pivotal part of that team fight. Divine Glaive here for Haji. Lord is going to be for the taking. Should be an easy take. ONIC's probably just going to let this go once again. Kirk will push up top. Conceal was used from Ogwin.
Banyak Paul.
Yeah, he's gonna threaten ONIC to not just go for the contest and instead use the Tsunami Slam onto Brusco. They're gonna go and burst him down first. Fortunately, still has the Glorious Pathway though, and will escape as Kirk just works on the trades across the map.
Okay, they're playing the split game. They lose their Revitalize for it. They might lose.
Mahal gini Pokito, bro.
You gotta run. Maybe this is just a sacrifice.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
And he saw this coming.
Mahal gini bro, Lord lo sekarat dia.
Dealt with the Lord wave. This is so damn.
Bawahnya dimainin lagi, What a macro play. Atasnya udah tinggal di defend dong, itu Lord sekarat guys, nggak bakal nabrak guys, nggak bakal hancur towernya. Gila ya. Pengorbanan yang sangat luar biasa guys.
Team Falcons can still play into this though. They're still
di defend ini di luar ini biar tower hancur.
But Kirk did work there. Immortality picked up here for Ogwin. Keep an eye on them as they get to the base. Lord has worked on.
Ogwin wants to find one, but the stun from Super Friends, popping his immortality and forcing out the flicker as well. They lose
hancur
out
ya,
on
dipaksa
base
tadi ya.
turrets, but they
Maksa
stay
tapi
in
buat
the
Immortal aja.
game.
Kalau ada Lord sih Immortal bakal kebuang itu Ogwen guys.
Jumped on Super Friends,
Tapi
but
mahal
he
sih
still had
makanya
that
nih.
ult. That pseudo purifying from the Valier. But
Ternyata
Team Falcons
Pokito
knew they
bisa
had to
ngelakuin
force,
kayak
they had
gitu,
to do
guys.
something, 'cause now ONIC again gets to play
Decisionnya
for
ya.
another 2 minutes of this game, and they get all their spells back, they get all the skills, and then they will allow Savero to farm up more on this Harith.
Again, it's all a matter of time for ONIC here. Malefic Roar picked up too. Biggest need of catch-up is obviously King Kong to be a little bit more, I guess, durable on the Leo Mord, because if they do look to
Dipaksa pakai
eventually
Imo,
go
iya,
into
mau
an
nggak
Evolved
mau
Lord,
anjir,
once that
orang
comes up to
Lordnya
this
udah
point,
kebuang guys.
there'll be an actual fighting form. There's going to be a situation where they can actually go ahead and throw themselves into a fight, but they only have one base turret
Emblem
too.
Pokito yang enak apa? Kalau aku fighter, ini pun Secret pasti pakai fighter guys. Cuman gua nggak tahu yang tengahnya itu Master Assassin atau nggak Festival of Blood guys. Soalnya Pokito itu damage-nya udah gede guys, nggak perlu Emblem Assassin. Kalau Emblem Assassin itu malah bikin landingnya jadi makin lemah guys. Kalau ketemu kayak fighter kayak Yuzong gitu makin kebantai guys. Emblem Assassin terus. Cuma kalau misalnya Emblem Fighter itu masih bisa lebih survive guys.
During the Lord dances.
Yeah, they
Jadi
are
rata-rata memang rata-rata pakainya sih Emblem
or
Fighter kalau
somehow
Pokito
feeling
guys.
like they are anticipating someone
Mengandalkan
from
si
ONIC to
lifesteal
at
style
least
farming
go
itu.
up top first.
Apalagi sekarang
And
skill
that's
satunya itu
something
ke
I also kinda
crit
noticed.
udah
Kurt
dapat
has
shield ya.
not
Kalau dulu kan
been
harus target ke
going
hero kan.
away from the rest of the team as much anymore. Not
Di
at
buff
this
itu
point in the
parah
game
itu
where
Pokito di buff
that
guys. Skill satunya bisa ke
decision
crit.
could potentially get heavily punished.
Yeah, it's hard because Team Falcons, they've done a fantastic job of just housekeeping, wave management. So ONIC feels very awkward for them to actually step outside the base, especially that they don't see anything. So they pop the sentry. Now they see the Esme top side. They saw the Kalea for a bit, moving towards mid. So now it's a go signal for them to clear the wave, and then maybe they go send Kirk top side.
Yeah, they might just replicate what they've done the past couple of Lords. This is going to be a quick one.
Yeah.
14 Falcons. You can see that. ONIC. Oh, Kirk, is he going to swing around for the fight, or?
Oh, Brusco.
Yeah, they were too quick to burst that objective. Brusco using the Revitalize, but the Tsunami Slam gets committed just to make sure that he goes down. Kirk will have to disengage. ONIC lose one.
Bit of indecisiveness there from ONIC. The other members thought they were gonna fight. Brusco committed with the Revitalize.
Itemnya udah apa nih Harith nih guys, bentar ya.
Unfortunately, the Leomord couldn't reach.
Udah item jahat sih. Udah Holy Calamity Bulu Divine ya.
That's why I was wondering.
Udah sakit ini
maybe
Harith
you just
guys.
let this one go again, or maybe they just see what they can do defending in the base. They're gonna have to deal with this last base turret being pushed down here. Team Falcons looking to cap it out.
Oh, great force on the flicker for Super Friends. Even popping the ultimate as well. So a lot of resources were already burned by the Super Fab. Severo doesn't have to use the Zapper just yet, but Falcons are already in the base.
What the heck? Lot masuk-masukin anjing komitnya gila. Wah, semakin seru ini ya, satu sama ya.
Counter for Team Falcons.
Ngeri.
The solution against the composition of ONIC, the Esmeralda, the Filipino cannon
Langsung di end
with
gitu,
an
bro.
explosive answer.